Japan. For most Americans, the name conjures up images of ancient temples shrouded in mystery, samurai warriors clad in full battle armor, valiant knights of the Japanese culture, and the white-faced geisha girl, timid and loyal handmaiden. We imagine a proud, hard-working people, resistant to change or outside influence. Most of these pictures are the legacy of Japan's past, a heritage not forgotten by the 120 million modern Japanese. However, things are a little bit different today. Blue jeans are as common as the kimono. A McDonald's or a Denny's can be found next to a sushi bar, and the Japanese, like Americans, are more inclined to fight their battles on a baseball diamond. The temples are still there, preserved and honored, and the people are proud and hardworking. But the samurai has become a businessman, and the geisha is now an independent, self-made woman. In the years following World War II, Japan grew into a technological giant. Though widely known for its cars and audiovisual software, Japan has made tremendous leaps in medical and military technology. Now, poised on the threshold of the 21st century, it's a key player in world politics and global industry. Japan and the U.S. Navy share over 100 years of history. From Commodore Perry's 1853 arrival in Kurihama to the present-day partnership with the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, the U.S. Navy has maintained a close relationship with Japan. As an American, your behavior here seriously reflects your country and affects changes in how Americans are viewed. Some businesses that have had bad experiences with rowdy sailors in the past no longer admit Americans. A working knowledge of Japan's culture can enrich your visit here and help preserve the important bond between the U.S. and Japan. Money will be your first concern. Without yen, the Japanese currency, you won't be going anywhere. Here are some of the currency denominations. A 10,000 yen bill, 5,000 yen, and 1,000 yen. Japanese coins can be deceiving. This 500 yen coin, little bigger than a quarter, can be worth almost $5. There are 100 yen coins, 50 yen, 10 yen, 5 yen, and 1 yen coins. Currency exchange rates fluctuate daily and are usually posted in military banking facilities. Japan's transportation network may be the most advanced in the world. You can get just about anywhere by bus, train, or taxi. Buses are inexpensive and bus routes very thorough. Japanese buses are boarded in the middle, where a machine issues a small paper ticket. Hold on to the ticket until you're ready to get off. Match the ticket number with a number on the fare chart above the inside front window to figure your fare. Deposit the ticket in the first plastic box on top of the fare box. If you have exact change, place it in the next box. If you need change, put your coin in the coin slot and the driver will give you your change. Japanese trains can be an experience. The most commonly used form of transportation, the trains are extremely crowded. During the rush hours of 700 to 900 and 1700 to 1900, you'll probably have to stand. Despite the number of people on board, you'll notice the trains are very quiet. If anyone's talking loudly, chances are it's a foreigner. The Japanese prize silence, so it's best to be quiet. Train tickets are purchased from vending machines in the train station or from a clerk behind a ticket window. The price of the ticket depends on the distance you travel. You'll pass through a wicket where another clerk will punch your ticket before you walk up to the train platform. You'll find these timetables on the platform to determine when your train arrives. These schedules use the 24-hour clock. So if it's 1800, look at the column next to 1800 to determine when the next train is due. Japanese trains don't run 24 hours a day. so be sure you leave in time to catch the last train home. When hailing a Japanese cab, don't hold your hands up and wave. By doing this, you're telling the cabbie you'll pay 5 times the price of the fare. To call Japanese cabs, wave with your fingers pointing downward. Taxi drivers open the left rear door for you when you enter and exit. Taxis can be found on most busy streets, but the best place to find one is outside a train station. When we think of Japanese foods, Americans usually picture rice, raw fish, and noodles. Though these dishes are extremely popular, they are by no means the gamut of Japanese cuisine. You can find pizza, fried chicken, or just a plain old hamburger if that's what you want. Here are a few tips for the adventurous diner. Most restaurants have a display case outside featuring models of their finest meals. Ordering is easy, even if you don't speak Japanese. Simply call the waitress outside and point to the model of the dish you want. She'll instruct the chef to cook it for you. Inside the restaurant, you'll probably find chopsticks on your table. They're not that difficult to use, but if you can't master them, ask for a fork or spoon. Many places carry Western utensils for foreign customers. If you do use chopsticks, don't stick them straight up and down in the dish. This act symbolizes mourning for the dead. Rather, lay the chopsticks across the edge of your plate or bowl. After the meal, your check will probably be brought to you on a tray. Take the check to the counter and pay there. Tipping isn't necessary in Japan. The biggest concern for single sailors is usually nightlife. There's no shortage of nightclubs, bars, or pool halls, but it's very important to remember Japan isn't like many ports in the Pacific. The girls you meet expect to be treated with respect. Please don't mistake friendliness for a sexual overture. A night out can be very expensive if you're not careful. When you order a drink or anything else, make your request clear and understand exactly what the price is. Always be conscious of the exchange rate. If you're turned away from a club, don't be insulted. Many Japanese business owners shy from allowing foreigners due to the language barrier. It would shame them to be seen struggling to communicate. If they can't speak to you, they can't serve you to their high expectations. Don't argue with the employees who are just doing their job. Simply thank them and walk away. Using payphones here is a little different than in the States. Japanese payphones are color-coded. Green phones are for public use, but pink phones belong to individual businesses, so ask for permission before you use them. When using one of the green phones, simply insert the amount of money necessary to make the call, wait for a dial tone, then dial the number. Long-distance calls cost more than local calls. Use only specifically marked green phones for long-distance or overseas calls. What do you do if you get lost or encounter trouble in Japan? Well, call a police officer, of course. Police boxes can be found on every block in urban areas, and there's no shortage of them in small towns. If you get lost and need directions, just find a police box and tell the attending officer. If he can't speak English, he'll call someone who can. Japanese policemen will bend over backwards to make sure you're okay. If you want to shop for gifts or keepsakes, Japan has a lot in store for you. Huge department stores are common, where you can pick up everything from high-tech stereo equipment to the latest in Japanese fashion. You'll also find small, privately owned shops that have handcrafted Japanese curiosities. Unlike many countries, the prices in Japan are usually fixed. Whatever the price tag says, that's what you're expected to pay. There are other etiquette rules here as well. Don't eat or drink when you're walking down the street. If you buy a drink from a vending machine, drink it where you stand. This helps keep the country clean. And remember to respect the privacy of those around you. Talk silently and act calmly. The Japanese respect peacefulness. Though most Japanese are friendly to Americans and other foreigners, there is a minority who are against the presence of U.S. forces here. Demonstrations are sometimes held in front of American bases. These demonstrations rarely lead to violence, but if you do encounter one, continue on to your destination and stay clear. Japan offers us a great learning experience. Its blend of technology and ancient history make it a place to not only have fun, but to witness the evidence of an older world. Tradition and honor are highly prized here. Don't let the language or cultural barrier scare you from getting out and finding Japan for yourself. As an American service member, you have the unique opportunity to be both student and teacher. Show the Japanese the best side of America, and you will be shown the best side of Japan.